to remind everyone this, and I'll do this again in the show today. Thank you, Bonita Harris, Dr. Bonita Harris. I got to respect that PhD behind your name, Dr. Bonita Harris. And we have Ruth Bell. Ruth Bell is in the house. Glad that you are here. And as they come on, it reminds me to remind you of this. We need you. We need you, the TRMC family, those who are following us. We need you and your friends and your family to make sure you go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Zenobia Lewis, thank you for being here from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Make sure that you go and you subscribe to it. What we're shooting for, and Stan may even talk a little bit about this today, as he is also working on doing the same thing with his YouTube channel. But we are striving to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is our goal. That's what we're shooting for. Right now, we are at 824. So we need another, say, 175 subscribers on our YouTube page, on our YouTube channel to get to that 1,000 mark. By the way, let me remind you of this. If you happen to miss the radio show that comes on at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday mornings, and I had a great time with this on Saturday because we had a active shooter training at church, and so anyway, a lot of people were up that time of morning, and they didn't expect to see me walking in because I was on the air at the same time with the pre-recorded show. But we do want to thank you, Alice Martin, for being here as well. We want you to make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get our numbers there. Help us reach that goal by the end of June. By the end of June, we want to be at that 1,000 mark of subscribers on the YouTube channel. And so I'm just asking and soliciting your support in doing that. A couple things coming up this weekend. I'm excited. I'll be in Concord for the Spring 2023 Business Expo. That will be taking place from 9 to 3. There's the flyer there. I will actually be the first. I will be opening up the conference. So I will be doing my little talk right away at 10 a.m. I think networking is from 9 to 10. And then I believe the whole event kicks off at with the first speak being at 10 o'clock. So keep your boy in prayer as I go to deliver a inspiring and setting the tone for the day for that. And then I will also be doing a workshop a little bit later. And we won't talk a whole lot about it right now, but also the following weekend, we have the NBN, which is the Matthews Business Networking Millionaire Mindset meeting that will be taking place here in Charlotte, once again, in the Concord area. We're going to really talk a lot about that when our guest arrives and we're able to unpack that event for you. So stay tuned. A lot of great information on there. And Vixen Powell, thank you for being here. We have a Facebook user. You're probably coming through our private Facebook group, so I can't see your name. But whomever you are, thank you for being here as well. And I also want to thank a number of people who have been, you have, especially my team, you have been supporting big time this week. Many of you joined my econ. Many of you kind of followed me around from Zoom to Zoom. And I'll talk a little bit about that with my co-host. Let's go ahead and bring her on. We can't leave her in the green room too long because she's got so much value, so much to say. Come on, let's bring Michelle Mitchell on the screen with us tonight. Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Good, Tony. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I had a pretty chill day today. You know, a couple appointments, but it was a pretty chill day today. So I got a lot of energy. I'm ready to go.
Well, you know me. I need a nap, and I didn't get one. So.
You didn't get the nap today?
I didn't get a nap.
Well, you'll get it. Well, Michelle, this group of people that we call the Real Money Coach family, they have been following me all around this week. Last Thursday, I had this grand opening for my econ, which is, a tool. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I had this grand opening for that, and many of them were on there. I mean, we got a really nice showing, and so then at 8 o'clock, I needed to go over and to my weekly show that I do with George Frazier.
Right.
And so they all jumped off of that Zoom that I had and came over to the other Zoom. And it's just kind of remarkable. I mean, these people are tech savvy. They're jumping from Zoom to Zoom. I told Lisa, like, her mom was on one Zoom and she got on the other. I was like,
That's
Darlene
awesome.
got it down. She didn't got it down. She jumped
Yes.
from one Zoom. And then the thing about it is we did the exact same similar thing on Monday. Yesterday, I had a regular team meeting. We had a lot of new people to introduce. And then I was one of the hosts for the NBN weekly meeting. And so they all came over and was part of that too. So
that's contagious following, right?
that is contagious. I have to ask Tony Harris,
Yes.
Ted Harris, about that, the networking queen,
Yes.
who will also be in the Queen City coming up in July.
Yep.
And she's gonna be on the show. We're gonna have her on the radio show. I think she's gonna be here for the live show as well. So we got a lot of great things coming, a lot of networking type events.
Yes.
And so,
which is great.
Yeah, because they say your net worth, your network is your net worth.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So, so really kind of, pleased with that, and a lot of great things going on. Speaking of networking, I saw a interview that Tony Taylor Harris, the queen of networking, did with you on LinkedIn. Yes. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Tony had me on Friday, and she just wanted to talk about she's the networking queen, and she talks to her people about how to go viral. So we talked to them about how to go viral with your money.
Ooh,
and yes,
like
because your money needs to be in order for you to, when you go viral. So when you go viral, you need to know the numbers in your business. You need to know what they're generating. What's your ROI for doing the things you do? So, yeah.
That return on investment. Return on investment is huge. Mm-hmm. We put it like this: if it don't make money, it don't make sense, right? So, is your network, is that producing income for you? And I think that you will enjoy this conversation with Stan Matthews in those terms, right? Mm-hmm. Because I think that the MBN has done a great job of doing that, turning money over within the group.
Right.
And so we'll probably unpack a little bit of that when he gets here as well. So any new events coming up for you, or how's your programs going? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's going good. My new employee started on the 1st, and I'm so excited about Lauren joining our team, so that it just increased capacity so much. Like just adding one person increases capacity so much.
Well, what we always say is 1 plus 1 is 2, but 1 plus 1 by each other, standing next to each other, is 11. Right? And
exactly.
So the magnitude of that, and Lauren is a solid person. Of course, I've had a chance to be around her a couple times, and so ultimate professional there. So we expect big things to come out of Mitchell Consulting with your expanding your territory, right?
We are expecting that, and what we're doing for the month of June, like to get her acclimated, I'm looking for 5 clients for her for June, and we're going to do some very specific things with you so that you don't run into the summer slump.
Okay, so Michelle, let's talk about this. The 5 clients. What is the criteria what that you're looking for with these 5 clients?
Yeah,
What
so
is it?
I'm trying to get her experience doing one-on-one clients really fast. So 5 clients that she can meet with one-on-one, and what we're going to do is we're going to assess where your business is right now and then where you want to go, and then we're going to help you create your roadmap. So it's
Okay.
very specific, but it will get her in the get her used to asking questions, and without really, um, just in guiding people
Right.
in the right way. um,
Asking without asking.
Asking without asking, exactly. So we want to get her some practice, and we're doing it at a reduced rate so she can like get her feet wet real fast. So we are looking for 5 clients. Like if you've been in business and you're a service provider, some kind of service, you want to grow. You have to want to grow, because if you just want to stay the same, then what's the point, right? Like you got to want
Right.
to be able to grow, and we want to help you get through the summer, through that summer slump, because we all have that. The kids are out of school, you're taking vacations and things like that, but we want to keep you focused. And we're going to do it for a month with you, and then give you that roadmap. And if you want us to help you, we can still work with you, but that 1 month just gives you the taste. Yeah.
So really just getting them off to a fast start
Yeah. Hmm.
with their business. Are you going to focus on things like business plan
Yes,
and
our
okay,
focus, our focus on our focus, we have like 7 different areas we talk about. One is your own personal goals. What do you want out of life? Because I believe your business should feed that.
okay,
So then we look at like your financials. We look at your financials. We look at like your revenue streams, like how your work is flowing through your business, what your customers, your ideal customers, are you pricing them right? Are you pricing them
mm,
right? Are you delivering the right service to the right client at the right price?
that's
So we're going
good.
to
That's
be,
good.
yeah. So if you don't have those things in place, we're going to help you create that roadmap so you can get those things in place. And then your action plan is to, what are you going to do? Because people come to me asking me to do a budget for them. I can't do a budget for you if I don't know what the strategy is. So this is
Right.
helping you develop your own strategy. So
But then you got to put it into action. I
then you
mean,
got to
just
put it into
having
action.
it on
Exactly.
paper
Hmm.
doesn't really do anything. I mean, you really got to
It
put it
doesn't.
into action.
And
So,
what I
so
find is a lot of times business owners haven't even thought about some of the questions that I ask. They just haven't thought about them.
well, that's kind of what a coach does, right? A
Yeah.
coach
Mhm.
gets you to think and answer questions that you wouldn't normally ask yourself.
Yeah.
Um, so, in terms of your ideal client for that, is that going to be a full-time entrepreneur? Is it going to be part-time entrepreneur? What
Right now,
have
we
you
just
really?
want to get her experience. So if you are a part-time entrepreneur, that works. You just need to be in a service. You deliver some type of service. So we're not doing restaurants or retail stores or anything like that. Um,
A restaurant is service. Because believe me, if you go to a restaurant and you don't get service, you know it.
that's true. That's
But
true.
I understand what you're saying. It's a service
Yeah.
oriented. You're not working with manufacturers who's making
No.
widgets and that type of thing.
Mm-mm.
So it's a service providing. It could be anything from you
It could
provide
be any.
housekeeping service,
Mhm.
janitorial services,
Yeah.
all the way up to financial services, whatever
Yeah.
you happen to be doing.
It could be professional services. Like it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I'm
And
excited for her.
I know she's chopping at the bit. I know that
She
she's
is.
probably she's ready to dig in and do some things. So
Yeah.
that's great. That's great. So I know that our guest was making their way through. He lives in New Jersey. Got kind of caught in traffic,
Uh,
so he should be joining us here shortly. But I just want to talk a little bit. Well, let's focus in a little bit. Last week we had LaSheree Rogers on the show. What did you think of LaSheree, by the way, Michelle?
I thought she was great. The CEO
sister.
sister. Yeah, the CEO sister. Yeah. I love that analogy. So
I thought that was pretty. I thought that was pretty cool. I knew that you would resonate with that when I saw that being the thing there. And so, I was kind of really impressed with what I would say, the enterprise that she's putting together, and here's the thing, like you always say, you have to turn your passion into profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's very passionate about education.
Yeah.
And so she's got the child care, she's got the school. So, I think all that is pretty awesome to kind of see that happening. Matter of fact, I want to do this. Go ahead.
I was just saying, this week it's kind of ironic how many stories I've heard about childcare since we talked to her last Tuesday.
Really?
And and the gap that's in the marketplace right now with childcare and people not being able to have a place to take their children.
Not enough childcare available.
There's not enough childcare available.
Quality childcare.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is interesting. As we were talking about turning your passion into profit, I thought, hey, what a great idea is, because sometimes we have to write things out, we have to see them. I thought it'd be a great idea for those who are listening at this moment to write something in the chat that you are passionate about.
Oh,
let's write something in the chat that you are passionate about. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our resident expert here, Michelle Mitchell, and she's going to tell you how to turn that passion that you write in the chat into profit. Let's have a conversation.
Hey, because I be having ideas.
Hey, there she is.
Hey, LaSheree.
LaSheree is in the house watching tonight. Thank you for being here. We hopefully you were listening as we were talking about what a wonderful time we had with you last week, and that we are excited about this weekend coming out, being part of the Spring 2023 Business Expo. So awesome. So anything else? Who's passionate about something tonight? Write something in the chat that you're passionate about. I know somebody's got something that they're passionate about.
Somebody got something.
Yeah, let's see. Y'all gonna be shy tonight. Someone, I don't want to call anybody out, but
Dante. Y'all, Dante is an excellent producer. So
yes, I mean,
let's take Dante's passion.
Let's take Dante's passion. Matter of fact, Dante, come on in the room. Listen, look at what Dr. Bonita Harris put. She said, helping seniors with technology. Now, what's interesting about this, and I don't want to tell all of Dr. Bonita Harris's business, but she has a PhD in technology.
Oh,
she has a PhD.
I didn't know what her PhD was in.
Her PhD is in, it may be information systems.
Okay.
Put it in the chat, Dr. Bonita Harris.
Related, right?
It's something like that, but it's technology related. And then I think about Dr. Bonita Harris and how close she is with her mom, Miss Ruth Bell, who is a senior, right? Yeah. And so you put those two things together, and is there a need for helping seniors with technology?
Yes, there's a need for helping seniors with technologies from like, okay, I don't want to bust my husband's bubble, and he's not a senior really, but he's not as techie as he used to be. So
technology turns over really fast.
Yes, it does. So
information technology, PhD in information technology, and her passion is to helping seniors learn technology.
Yeah. So
Dr. Bonita Harris, you better make an appointment so we can get that business up and running and get it.
That's right.
Popping.
It can be popping because seniors do just think about during the pandemic how we wanted to connect with our seniors, but they didn't have the equipment to do it. And now a
Right.
lot of them understand what Zoom is. They attended church on Zoom, you know, made phone calls
Absolutely.
with family on Zoom. So there is a market for technology with seniors.
Absolutely, 100%. Because there was a time like prior to
Hmm.
COVID. I mean, there were seniors, and I work with a lot of seniors, especially
Hmm.
I love
Yeah,
my
you
senior
do.
ladies, right? And they would be like, "No, I need to meet with you face to face. I mean,
Yeah.
I gotta look you in the eye before I do this, right?" And now they be like, "Baby, you ain't gonna come to my house, are you?"
Right. You gonna send me a Zoom link.
You're not gonna come. I don't let nobody in my house no more.
Yeah.
So
But Dr.
Dixon Powell
Benita,
put in, huh? But
I was just gonna say, Dr. Benita, your customer is not the senior. It's not the senior. It's the organization where the seniors are. Boom,
boom, senior
boom.
centers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
there you
not the
go.
senior, it's the organizations.
It's where they gather.
It's where they gather.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Dixon put in that help teaching people how to budget and make better money decisions.
Oh, yes. You
Boom.
need to
That's why
connect
you're
with
on my
me.
team. That's why you're on my
Oh,
team,
she
girl. Love that.
okay.
Love that. So
Yeah.
listen, I do see that our special guest has arrived. Is in the green room, and
Yay.
he's no other than Stan Matthews. But before we bring Stan on, we have just a little commercial, a little 30-second commercial that we like to roll. Go ahead, Dante, roll the commercial.
Want to scale your business to 7 figures and beyond? Join Dr. George C. Frazier, Dr. Michelle Walker Davis, Mr. Malik Yoba, Mr. Stan Matthews, the Real Money Coach, Mr. Tony Jackson, and successful entrepreneurs from across the country at the Matthews Business Network Millionaire Mindset Conference in Charlotte, North Carolina on June 18th and 19th. Call 732-357-5701 for more information or go to mbnconnect.com to get registered right now.
All right. Listen, I have the founder of the MBN Business Network, no other than Mr. Stan Matthews. Stan, how are you doing? Let's bring Stan on the stage.
I knew there would be some hand claps somewhere. How is everybody doing in the Queen City?
We are doing well. We have a triangle here. We got North Carolina, Michigan, and New Jersey, right? So everybody, you connect those, you do a triangle, connect all those. Everybody in that triangle, make your way to Charlotte, right? Make
That's
your
right.
way to Charlotte in a couple of weeks. Stan, thank you for being here. Man, our paths have been crossing for a number of years, and now we're getting a chance to work together. So before we jump into MBN and we jump into the millionaire mindset, tell the people about Stan Matthews, who Stan Matthews is.
All right. So I was born in Georgetown, Guyana, grew up in the city of East Orange, New Jersey, same city as the late, great Whitney Houston, her awesome auntie Dionne Warwick. John Amos, the father on Good Times, is also in East Orange. Wilma Rudolph, the track gold medalist legend on track and field, are all East Orange residents, grew up in East Orange. And my passion has always been marketing. It has always come easy to me to be the wind under other people's wings. I always get really fired up when people that are close to me are succeeding at the highest levels. So marketing was, more than business, more than work. It was my passion. And while I have a JD, Tony, from Seton Hall Law School, it never really was an interest of mine. I kind of viewed law as a backup. What if things didn't work the way I wanted in business? Fortunately, for 34 years, they have. I'm the father of 4 wonderful kids. They are the apples of my eye, the center of my universe. And they give meaning to my life. I'm pretty much an empty nester now, so I spend a lot of time really thinking about how we can move beyond making money to making a difference, to making history. And this is what we're coming to the Queen City to do on June the 18th and 19th at the Millionaire Mindset Conference, where we bring 100 selected professionals and entrepreneurs together for one purpose and one purpose alone: scaling your business to 7 figures and beyond. Because we know one thing is certain: the larger that Black-owned businesses get, the more of our people they will absorb into the workplace. We are the highest employer of each other. And so as our businesses grow, so will the number of us who work in those businesses, and the ranks of the unemployed will shrink as we are able to absorb more of our people, because we have a very particular and distinct culture. And sometimes people always don't understand all of the nuances that come along with working with people of African descent or people of color. So with that said, I am so grateful for the opportunity to share on your platform. I don't count it as a small thing to be able to share with your awesome audience. And you and your co-host legend grows all the time, and I'm just glad to be able to go and grow in the flow with both of you.
Well, I tell you what, Stan, thank you. I mean, Michelle, that was good. Was he good? I mean, the words came together, right? Listen, he learned from one of my mentors, Dr. George Frazier. He can put some words together, and so that's been our common thread. And I do want to just do this. I do have to recognize, because Miss Irma Jean did put her name in the chat. I do want to shout out to her. Thank you for being here. And that's what we do, folks. If you just are joining us, if you have not put in the chat where you're watching from, please do that so that we can recognize you. We have people from Texas. We got people from all over the United States that are watching tonight. So let's jump into MBN and some of the things that that you guys do, that the network, I don't want to say you guys, that we do, all right, because I'm a member of the MBN now. Some of the things that we do in terms of how do we circulate these dollars. I want you to share a little bit about the importance of that, what hasn't happened, and what we're going to put into place to make sure that we circulate more dollars among ourselves.
Right. So, and you reminded me to share this with the audience. So in 2012, I had a near fatal car accident heading to Hampton University to visit with my daughter and, do things that dads do, pay tuition and all that kind of stuff, eat crab down in Virginia. And as I got into Dover, Delaware, I was tired. It was about 2 a.m. in the morning. And I said, you know what, I'm going to stop in this Royal Farms and I'm going to get a huge cup of Pepsi with an even heaping higher cup of ice. And I'm going to make it to Hampton in about 3 hours. Well, I never made it to Hampton. I made it into a dumpster and dislocated my right hip. Windshield cracked. My face was cut to pieces. Steering wheel cracked and went through my abdomen. I still have a metal sheet in my abdomen with 18 stitches on both sides holding it together. That will be in my abdomen forever because of my stupidity, right? Brothers, get off that road. Go ahead and take a half an hour rest. Don't do what Stan did. I was not wise on that night. So woke up the next morning in the Dover, Delaware hospital, and a police officer said the following, Michelle. He said, sir, God has something for you to do. I was not particularly expecting or desiring a lecture. I was in a whole lot of pain. And only thing that was keeping that pain halfway in check was Oxycontin. So I said, all right, officer, what do you mean? He said, well, I was on duty and I saw your car roll across the embankment, which you slumped over the wheel. And a tractor trailer was coming northbound and just missed the back of your car. Since that car rolled over on the southbound side of Route 13, a tractor trailer was coming south and just missed the front of your car. And then your car collided with the dumpster and you sustained those injuries. He said, if either one of those tractor trailers had connected, we would not be having this conversation.
Wow.
So it was a 2-year recovery, and closer to 2015, a dear friend of mine, Aita Nassar, beloved friend of mine, knew I was very depressed because I'm a workaholic. I love what I do. And, being all broken up, I couldn't do it. So he brought me the University of Georgia Business School's annual publication on the multicultural economy, the growing multicultural economy in America. And what the University of Georgia Business School does, Tony Jackson's audience, they compile every year what Blacks, Browns, Hispanics, Asians, what our component of the national economy is. At that time in 2012, it's 1.6 trillion. It is now 4.3 trillion. And a thought struck me, Michelle. What percentage of that 4.3 trillion are we spending with ourselves? And so we examined it. And guess what we found out? We only spend 2% of 4.3 trillion with each other. 4.3 trillion. So I said, well, it must be this trust thing that we always hear about, Tony. Black people don't trust each other. The mantra.
Right.
So we set up 20 focus groups in major metropolitan centers all across the country. Guess what did not come out as number one reason why we didn't do business with each other? Trust.
It wasn't trust, right?
It wasn't trust.
Competence wasn't on the table either. You know what was number one? Awareness. We didn't know where to find each other. So I told this information to George Fraser, Tony. He said, I know exactly what to do. We were in Newark, New Jersey in 2015 at State of the Black World Conference that Ron Daniels calls every year.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what you need to do? You need to create an organization, give the training and the support to the CEOs of that organization, and then let Black and Brown and Asian consumers know that you are here to serve them. So what have we been able to do? In 7 years, we've grown from nothing to 2,652 Black and Brown CEOs. And last year, we circulated a little over $210 million with each other. We're not quite at the 20% mark where we want to be. 20% of 4.3 trillion is 860 billion. We are certainly not there, but we are on our way. And these quarterly Millionaire Mindset Conference brings us closer to achieving that goal. So we have been able to move in a direction, but we're far away from where we want to be. And we just ask everyone humbly to come on this journey with us to parity, right? I'm not suggesting that we should not do business with mainstream communities. I'm suggesting that we keep 20% of what we earn circulating in our own hands. That will circulate $860 billion. So we don't have to be in a constant state of beggary. Black people begging for student loans to go to college, begging for non-conforming loans to get houses and cars, begging for credit cards with high interest rates because we don't get the best rates. We are in a constant state of beggary, and we don't have to be because we got $4.3 trillion. If we would just use that better, we would not have to beg anyone for anything. Listen, God created one race, the human race. I have people of all parts of the color spectrum in my family. If you look at my face, you know there's some cream in my coffee. So I don't believe any race but the human race. But guess what? If we look at every rung of the economic ladder, people of brown skin, highly melanated people are on the bottom. This book right here by some dude named Tony Jackson told me all about the problems that we have in our community, right? This dude, Tony Jackson, details it right here for everybody. So I don't have to, don't be mad with me, be mad at Tony Jackson. Right? So we just have to do a better job at what we have. I've gone to school with people of all races in grammar school. I went to a private boys' high school. I have colleagues and friends to this day for 40 years that look like everything in the spectrum. I went to law school with everybody. I went and got a business degree with everybody. I have no hate for anybody. I just got big love for people that look like me. And we're not doing a good job with the resources that God gave us. And if we do anything right, we just need to get that part right. In fact, I think we make better partners to people of other races when we have our intellectual capital, our financial capital, and our social capital together. We can come as contributors, not as beggars.
There you go. Boom. Wow. I love that. And thank you, Timothy Day, for being here from Durham, North Carolina as well. I love that, Stan, because if we come together, if we come more powerful, then every room we step in, we're not looking for a handout. We're looking, to make a difference and to take for our rightful place at the board table, right?
Yeah.
No question about that.
Yeah.
Tony, I will go this far. I live in Ewing, New Jersey, which is between Princeton, New Jersey, where the world famous Princeton University is, and to my south is the capital of the state of New Jersey, Trenton. Well, it is said in Trenton, the state capital of New Jersey, that every Friday afternoon, about $61 million leaves the city and goes to the suburbs around the city. It is also said that we are the profit margin for the Asian community. We're the profit margin for the Italian community. We're the profit margin for the Irish community. We are those extra bucks that they would not have had otherwise.
Yeah.
There are 5 categories. My friend Claude Anderson, all of us know Dr. Anderson.
Dr. Claude
There are
Anderson,
5
yes.
of Powernomics. Claude taught us there are 5 categories that we're number 1 in. Number 1, we buy more luxury cars than any other group in the country. We're only 13% of the society, right? We put the B and BMW and the L in Lexus. They would not sell BMWs, Lexuses, and Caddies without us. Number 2, we buy more sports apparel than everybody else. Nike and Adidas and Puma owe us a fortune.
Right.
Number 3, we eat more fast food than anybody else, right? The Colonel should be a black dude. Burger King, the king of the burger should be a black dude. And Ronald McDonald damn sure need to look more tan because we buy all that. The 4th thing, right? We go to more movies than anybody else in the country. Why? Because our pain is so great. We drowned our pain going to watch films and videos. We buy more tickets from Hollywood than any community in the country, and we're only 13%. What is the last thing? Well, y'all know what the last thing is. Blame it on the rock. Blame it on the Henny. Blame it on the alcohol. We drink more wine and spirits than anybody else in the country. We put the B in Budweiser, the H in Heineken, the B in Bacardi, right?
Right.
The C in Courvoisier. My good friend from New York, his family is also Guyanese. Busta Rhymes, he had the song, Pastor Courvoisier. We even glorify our drunkenness, right? So those are the 5 things that we spend more money than anybody in the country.
Else.
Tony and Michelle, why can't we do this? Why can't we sit down with the Budweiser company? Why can't we sit down with Mercedes-Benz? Why can't we sit down with McDonald's and Burger King? Why can't we sit down with Nike and say, listen, we are your profit margin. We want to see more of ourselves in the C-suite. We want to be your shareholders. Yep. We want to do more business with you. We have the power to go to these 5 sectors of the economy and cut deals because we are their number 1 consumers.
But we have to take our economic power back. And I think that's part of the issue is that we don't realize how much economic power that we have with our dollars. Believe me, if we pull back from whatever, we hurt them in their pocketbook. Even Dr. King, when he gave his last speech in Memphis, Tennessee, he was calling for boycott of Coca-Cola, Wonder Bread. He was calling for a boycott of these places. And he said, we need more. It wasn't just about the sanitation workers. If you listen to that whole speech, because we only hear the last part, we only hear that, I've been to the mountaintop, right? We only hear that piece of it. We don't hear the 30 minutes that was before that, when he was really calling for some economic empowerment of our people. And I believe because of that becoming his conversation is the reason why he was ultimately assassinated. It wasn't because of voting rights. It wasn't because of wanting to drink out of the same fountain. I mean, we know that there was people that hated that as well, but it was that economic. When we start talking economics, now we're hitting people right in the pocket.
Well, I've often said, Tony, over the years, the black man and woman are the only people that came to America that had jobs waiting here for us when we got here. We have been
although
fully employed.
really underpaid, but yeah.
Right.
Fully
Truly
employed.
underpaid.
We got here. We are the only people. We've always been the prize, will always be the prize. We are the only people that can say this. We were wanted so bad by others. They felt they could not do without us, and so they kidnapped 50 million of us. No other people could say they were wanted so bad by others who felt they could not do without us, and so kidnapped us and brought us all over the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
So
one of
listen,
the most
as we
frightening
continue-
things in the world is read some history books about what Italian food, what French food, what Irish food tasted like before some of us got there as slaves and said, put some spice on it.
Right.
Read your history book. They used to eat straight up plain bloody meat, straight up potato with nothing on it. We said, whoa, wait a minute. Sprinkle a little
something on it.
Make it taste. You know, I'm saying this playfully because we don't want to come in hate and anger. We want to come in love. Other people know what our value is, and so we have to know our worth as well.
Well, listen, we're approaching about 15 minutes. I want to shift to the event that's taking place in Charlotte. Matter of fact, if we could put Dante, if we could put mbnconnect.com, if we could put that link in there where people can register for the conference even tonight. It's MBN Connect. If we can also, if you have the flyer available, we can do that. And while we're displaying the flyer, if you, Stan, just would like to talk a little bit about the quarterly conference, and I want you to answer this for me. Why are we calling it the Millionaire Mindset Conference? What is the significance of even having that title? I think that's so important to unpack.
All right, because the mind is the master. The spirit is the maker, but the mind is the master. Whatever the mind commands, the body must obey. This is biblical. The word says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by what? The renewing of your mind. Right? So the mindset of one, the mindset of a pauper or the mindset of a prosperer, the mindset of a victim or the mindset of a victor, right? And so we're teaching people to have a millionaire mindset. There are more than 1,100 Black millionaires in the country. There are now 21 Black billionaires in the country, among them Jay-Z, Oprah Winfrey, Robert F. Smith, right? And so we want to teach a mindset of 7 figures, right? And so the way we teach a mindset of 7 figures is we bring together 7-figure coaches. We bring together Dr. George C. Frazier to talk about why invest in you. A writer of 6 best-selling books, has lectured all around the world, has been voted the #1 speaker in America 3 times, my and Tony's friend and mentor. A 7-figure earner consistently, bringing together Dr. Michelle Walker Davis, a 7-figure earner in the area of grants and government contractors, bringing together Mr. Eugene Poole, 42 years in health and retirement benefits, has sold millions of dollars of policies. The governor of Maryland just gave him a citation for being the #1 producer of health insurance in the state. Also, he is the executive chairman of Matthews Business Network. Your very own Mr. Tony Jackson, the real money coach, teaching you how to use money as a tool and make it an asset rather than a liability for you, so that you have a dignified retirement and a higher quality of life, right? And of course, I'm also one of those coaches. And my special power in that is marketing and client acquisition. I help my clients get the high-paying clients they need to prosper and succeed. And then, of course, we're going to add some star power to it. Mr. Malik Yoba, for many years, the star of New York Undercover, and of course, the husband in Why did I get married? Janet Jackson's husband, although the role had him end up under a car wheel, but 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 Malik is a great dude because his mother, as she was getting older and getting ill, asked him to give to other young people in inner cities opportunities that she gave to him. So he founded Yoba Development, which is a real estate development company, and he looks to work with young people in inner city communities and teach them how real estate can be a pathway to wealth. So we teach the millionaire mindset, and we bring people who have achieved that status and think like that all the time. They'll be coming together on June the 18th, which is Father's Day. Bring your father. And the 19th, we'll be meeting at Sir Charles Fish and Chips right there outside of Concord. We will have the banquet for all attendees on Sunday night. Then on Monday, we really get to work with a Power Network brunch. And then, of course, we have our plenary session and meeting later on in the afternoon. There'll be vendors from all across the country. There'll be a driving tour with 5 Diamond Concierge, our sister girl out of San Antonio, the one and only Shireen Lindo. And there will be an opportunity for 7-figure and high 6-figure earners from all across the country, 100 of them, to get together and mastermind how to take this even higher. Our goal here is to enable people in our community to go beyond 7 figures in their business so that they can pull other people up along with them. This is not a me thing, it's a we thing. And that's why you need to be at the Millionaire Mindset Conference so that we can achieve our collective goals. The Africans have a proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go by your damn self. If you want to go far, go together. Go together. And that's what we're trying to do. So thank you for the opportunity to share that. All roads lead to the Queen City on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And I'll be looking for each one of you. Why do we only do the Millionaire Mindset Conference with 100 people? Because we want the event to be intimate enough where you can walk up to a Malik Yoba and talk to him for a half an hour and talk and let him tell you how he acquired his fame and how he rose to the top in the arts. You can walk up to a George Fraser and say, Doc, be my mentor. Tell me how you wrote 6 best-selling books. Tell me how you get $15,000 for a half an hour speech, right? You could walk up to each one of us and have real conversation. So we will never have more than 100 people at one of those quarterlies because we want to make sure it's intimate so that you can get connected and build not just strategic partnerships, but real friendships with people who you want to coach you.
Well, and I want to do this. I want to pause right here real quick and then we come back because you mentioned something and I got to share this really feel good story, right? This is a really feel good story that's happened here in Charlotte. There is a young man and this young man has cancer and he, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they will take and you can meet the entertainer, the sports figure, whoever you want to meet. And you will not guess who this young man has chosen that he wants to meet.
Robert F. Smith.
Robert Smith. Yep, a billionaire. Yep. And I think that's just amazing that's the mindset that we want, right? Like I could go meet Michael Jordan, LeBron James, but he wants to meet Robert Smith and he wants to ask him some questions. And then I saw that story on the news last night. I just thought I think it was last night or the night before. I thought it was just simply amazing that he wanted to do that. And so we put in the chat how to connect. Now, listen, if y'all go register for the MBN Connect. Make sure that you put that the Real Money Coach referred you there. And the other thing is that we want to, also talk about the value of MBN membership. Obviously, this is a network of 2,600 business owners, CEOs, top executives, that type of thing. And I really like how in each and every meeting, everyone gets the opportunity to give their elevator pitch. And so you want to say anything about that, Stan, or?
Sure. So we're divided into 8 regions across the country, including the Caribbean and Africa. We do not believe in competing with each other. We complete each other. So in none of our local chapters will 2 of the same professions be in any one chapter. The reason for that is if there's 50 people in your local chapter and you're the only one who's the printer, the other 49 are going to look to you for any print work that they need. Mm-hmm. That is the point. We are emphasizing that collaboration has been, is, and will be the only currency in the history of man. You want to know how Apple became the most wealthy country in the world? Well, when it was founded and it went public, about 25 million people bought a $15 share. That is social capital. You don't have to call it crowdfunding. I will. A crowd of people bought a piece of that stock, and look where it is today.
Right. Exactly.
So we invested in crowdfunding one time as a people, and it had a great result. 61 million of us crowdfunded a brother named Barack, and he became president. 61 million gave him $27, $985 million. Mm-hmm. Later, he was sitting in the White House. That's crowdfunding.
Absolutely.
TD Jakes told me, Stan, that ain't crowdfunding, that's church. What you do in the church, you pass that plate, right? And you put a little something in there. Well, if 61 million people put a little something in there, you might get 985.
There you go. There you go.
You don't need to complicate this, people. This is about all of us having common cause, a common objective. Marcus Mosiah Garvey said, "Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will." But what Marcus was talking about, what Malcolm was talking about, what Martin was talking about, and before them, Frederick Douglass was talking about, and Harriet Tubman was talking about, is our desire to be free, respectful, whole, loving contributors to this planet Earth. Our desire to just be free human beings. As Jefferson said, but didn't live out on his own right, one nation, under God, liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know what, I am looking forward to the conference. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people that I've been meeting and talking with, through Zoom and these type of things, and to meet a lot of these folks in person is going to be awesome. And the fact that you're doing it in my city, and the fact that you're doing it in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's just icing on the cake. I mean, I love Charlotte, right? No disrespect to any other city, no disrespect to Atlanta or Detroit or Chicago or Dallas or any other place. I just like Charlotte. And, it was great having you in the radio station. We aired that last Saturday. We had a great time there, at Radio 1. While everybody's in town, Stan, we may come back to the radio station and turn that thing upside down. If I get you in the radio station, George, the money doctor, Michelle Walker Davis, man, I'm working on it. I'm telling you, I'm working on it right now. So I'll have enough content for months when we get to when we come out of there, Michelle.
That's right.
I certainly appreciate what you're doing for the community, for the business community, and all that. And I love the values, right? One of the things, folks, is that, MBN is a Christian company. We don't hold back on that. We begin with prayer. And that's so important because, faith, family, and then everything else, right, comes after that. So I talked to someone today and they said faith, family, then fun. And so that's what we're all about. And so, Stan, any last parting words you want to say before we go? And then again, remember, mbnconnect.com. That's where you can go if you want to join the Matthews Business Network. If you want to register for this conference, meet us here. Meet all the people that we've been talking about. Meet us here. I said on the radio, listen, you gonna take Dad out to dinner anyway. You might as well bring him and let him meet Malik Yoba. Let him meet Stan Matthews. Let him meet George Frazier. It is going to be the same cost as you gonna spend. You go down there to Roof Chris anyway, right? So just do that. Bring your dad out, and then he gets the bonus day the next day, which is Juneteenth, right? That's Juneteenth, and we'll have some more great content and program for you. So that's my take on it, y'all. Y'all ought to do it. You ought to do it. So Stan, any last words?
Absolutely. Because you guys are in the Bible Belt, I'm going to close with the twin pillars that we use. Ephesians 3:20. My God can do exceedingly abundantly more than I ask or imagine, right? So he is beyond what I can think about. And the second thing, Tony asked the question, about what is it that we really want? I ask it this way: what is it that the Creator wants from us? And he lays it out so beautifully in Matthew 6:33 and commands us, seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness, and then what? Then all of these things will be added unto thee, right? I looked at the Webster Dictionary, Michelle, and I looked up the word all. And you know what it's defined as? Lacking nothing.
Nothing.
Lacking nothing.
Yes. Lacking nothing.
I want all of it, right?
Yeah.
and so that led me to Luke 12:32, which is the crowning glory of all of it. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you what? Give you the kingdom. He wants to give you the whole thing.
All of it.
All you have to do is not ask how. All you have to do is say yes. You don't have to ask him how. Just tell him yes, right? MBN is not a perfect organization. I'm not a perfect man. But we are locked in step with you to get you those things that your Father in heaven wants you to have. He wants to give you the kingdom. He wants to give you all of these things. And we just want to help you do it. We want to be like a choir singing a beautiful song. We got some altos, we got some tenors, we got some sopranos. Put all that together, we make beautiful music. Go to mbnconnect.com, register for the conference, or become a member, or do both. We look forward to seeing you in Charlotte on the 18th.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Michelle, my friend.
Yes.
What you got? Any parting words?
Hey, I want to be around billionaires too. Because I'm all about the sex. Yes.
Come on down. Well, and that's like I said, I told Lisa a long time ago, I can't continue to be around the Michael V. Roberts, the George Fraziers, the Stan Matthews, and people of that magnitude, William Bacard's, without getting there, right? So because it's a mindset, it's the people you're around, it's watching them negotiate, it's watching Michael Roberts negotiate a deal, it's watching George Frazier master at negotiating a deal, watching these folks view their mastery and learning from it. And so that's what I love to do, and having a ball doing it. And so
Tony, even that example is biblical. It says, the word says, how shall they know lest they have a teacher?
That's right.
That's
Absolutely.
Right.
You may think that we're in the world of technology. I think we're in the world of theology and spirituality. Out of spirituality and theology comes technology.
That's right.
That's right.
You're right. The spirit world is the mother of all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You get the spirit world right, you get all of this other stuff. Right?
All these things. Love it. Want to remind everyone that we will be back on the air Saturday morning. Always listen for us for 7:30 a.m. on Saturday mornings on Praise 100.9. And that is also issued as a podcast on all of the streaming podcasting platforms. Make sure you go to our YouTube page. We're at 824. We're trying to get to 1,000. Matter of fact, also go like the Matthews Business TV network as well. They're pushing to get to 1,000. And if you have not had an appointment with me and you need to sit down and have a free consultation, go to iPadappointment.com. Let's make it happen. And I will see you this weekend at the spring 2003 Business Expo with LaSharie Rogers. I will see you the next weekend at the MBN conference, Millionaire Mindset Conference. It's going to be a great couple weeks, y'all. Y'all, listen, y'all in trouble because when I come on these shows, these next couple weeks, I'm going to be fired up.
Yes,
I'm
you
going to be on
are.
fire, Date. It's going to be on and popping. Listen, everybody have a good night and make sure you register. That's what I'm talking about.
Right, Dante.
Thank you so much.
That's what I'm talking about.
Tony and Michelle, thank you
Yes,
so much
thank
for
you.
having me. It's indeed my pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you. And I love those gems you drop, man.
Yes.
Man, you be dropping some gems, bro. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
have a good
something
night.
that we have in common. Good night, man.
Good night.